Hello, friends. Welcome to the January ritual um, for surrendering. So, earlier this month, we did a little ritual around Pride in retrospect, um, to kind of connect back to that theme of December, that theme to close out um, the year and to just kind of really re reconnect with what we have done and really acknowledge and set space for that which we have accomplished. This month, we are working on surrendering. Surrender is the word we have been using that has been the prompts. Um, and so, for this session, I do want to invite you to go ahead and pull out as many art materials as possible. This will not be the flow you might be familiar with if you've been here for a while and a part of Patreon or found me on YouTube. Um, this is going to be more spontaneous, but I do want to give the requisite that you will need many different materials. So if you need to pause this, um, and grab some different materials. I personally have pen, pencils, watercolor, and collage elements. There will be a time to use those. Thought about making that a surprise, but it's not fun to have a surprise when you have to be prepared with the surprise. So feel free to grab some collage materials. I actually have for myself just some cards, um, some like promo things from the mail or um, an old tarot book, one of these little books that goes in with your tarot deck. Just little odds and ends, a little promo image that I printed for a container a while back, and I think it was 2022. Um, so yeah, anything can be a collage element if it's paper, right? So feel free to grab all of those things, pause if you need. And of course, if you don't have your sacred tools, feel free to grab those sacred tools and just kind of meet your space. Be in your space. And actually, let me just, hi. Um, this is my new space, by the way. This is my new studio. So this is going to be where um, I meet you in. And I just wanted to share that because I haven't really had a moment to share the studio space, my holy altar. Um, but anyway, let's get back on track. Um, doo -doo -doo. There we go. All right, let's get into it. Surrendering in our art practice is the prompt today. So we're going to start in with some stretching together. So I actually do something with my students. I think I've talked about this before. It's called my mindful movement in the beginning of my classes with my high school and middle schoolers. So we're going to do a little bit of that practice. Feel free to follow me if you like, or we can just go straight. You can go straight into whatever you want to do. Anything that's comfortable for you, do that first. I'm going to be standing. Again, you're welcome to join me if you can see me in my little screen. Yeah. We're going to just start with feet planted nice and flat on the floor and allowing our shoulders to relax or jaw to unclench. And this is just going to be starting with some rolling of the shoulders. Take some time, deep breaths here, connecting with that sacred breath. And maybe reverse the circles if you want one way. Hello, Shiva, go the other. We're gonna take our arms out, side to side, as far as they can go, almost like you're trying to touch two ends of the room. We're gonna bring our hands above with a good inhale in, hands overhead, and bring them all the way down to your toes.
So that your cat is hungry for attention. And possibly just hungry. And feed you some. Allow your arms to hang heavy for a second here. Bend the knees if you need to. And we're gonna just slowly come up.
And just roll the shoulders real quick. Cat back down if you want. And bring the arms back up overhead. Exhale to cactus. And just wiggle the fingers here, roll the wrists. Just a moment of connecting with our body. Deep breath in, hands come up overhead and bring them to the heart space. Maybe take a moment to close your eyes if you haven't already. And just notice how the earth feels under your feet. Notice any tension that you might be holding. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out the nose. All right. When you are ready, excuse me, ma'am, we're going to come to a comfortable seat, connecting with our breath and allowing the eyes to soften, but of course, come to the breath first. In tonight's ritual, we are working with the word surrender. And so as I'm talking, just allow yourself to soften in your space. Relax the muscles of the face, the shoulders, the neck, back, anything that feels tension. Breathe into it. And allow yourself to really think about the word surrender in your mind. Imagining yourself just surrendering to your body and how it feels. Surrendering any thoughts or concerns. And just focusing on the breath, surrendering to the breath first. Maybe placing a hand on your belly, one on your heart. Surrendering to the breath. And with each breath, just surrendering a little deeper. Before this ritual, I pulled two of Pentacles, and I think that that can be a great teacher around surrendering. We need to find balance, but we also need to surrender to the balance that is not always being able to balance everything. And just focus back on the breath, visualizing this connection to surrender, to this word and its invitation to soften. It's okay to not have it all together, to have it all figured out. Balancing what we can and cannot control. Like the two wings of a butterfly, balancing those truths. We surrender to what we cannot control and hold with tender, loving care the things that we can do that are in our control. A balance of surrender and movement, of change. You've lost connection to your breath. Come back. Breathe deep in through the belly, into the belly, through the nose. All the way up to the chest. Hold it at the top. And release with a sigh. Another inhale here. Let's do a nice, deep, deep breath in through the nose. Filling in your whole trunk. And letting it out with a sigh. Allow yourself to come back to your space. I have a cat. When you feel ready, just allowing yourself to come into this space. And again, this is a reminder. We're going to dive into variety, surrendering our ideas of what we know as art to just work intuitively. Intuitive work is a huge surrender. But that is the invitation here, is to really surrender by using maybe more materials than you're used to, or maybe just different materials than you're used to. How can we surrender a little more? One of my high recommendations is to use multiple pieces of paper so that you can move and allow yourself to create without hyperfixating. Working intuitively means really dropping into that surrender and trusting the process. And just a reminder that there is no wrong or right. There is only what is in this creative space. So when you feel ready, I want you to just think about this. Come back to this quote. Spirituality must include a willingness to fail. Mistakes and feeling uncomfortable means you are right where you need to be. The effort and struggle all play a role in your process towards truth. Keep your heart open. This is a quote by Sarah of the Moon Studio. Besides the Cycles Journal, I also use the Many Moons Planner, and Sarah is the creator of that. And so I want us to just kind of hold this as our map tonight. Spirituality must include a willingness to fail. Tonight, make ugly art. Surrender. Does not have to be aesthetically pleasing. And I'm saying that a lot for myself because I, as an artist, we all juggle this. We all we juggle this. We juggle the play of creativity and control and surrender. Sarah sent out a email maybe 2 weeks ago that had this quote. Maybe it was this week actually, but it just really stuck with me reading this. I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect for surrender. And so with that in mind, let's take a good mindful breath. I want to invite you to practice mindful breathing. Take moments to pause, breathe deeply, and observe the evolving artwork. Do not judge, observe. We are only here to channel, to explore, to surrender. So let go of any judgment, self-criticism, focusing instead of the rhythmic flow of your breath and the evolving lines on your paper. Take time tonight to really just breathe. We're gonna go through some steps, but the steps are structured only to keep you surrendering deeper into change into flow. Because surrendering requires us to really have faith, right? Faith in the process, faith in ourselves, and faith that no matter what you put on the paper, it's going to be okay. Full moon in Leo is tomorrow. And we have the fire already lit in our hearts. We are channeling that magic. So take out one of your pieces of paper, maybe write the word surrender on it to kind of help you get in that space, planting that seed. Plant. We're going to start by really just allowing our hand to move freely throughout our page, allow lines, shapes, textures to emerge without constraint, not really thinking about the idea, but following the flow. Play with colors, choose a palette that resonates with your current mood, and layer. This is going to be a good practice in layering. So again, come back to that mindful breathing. Think about those colors that feel resonant with where you are at the moment. Okay, just instinctually. So, with that said, I'm going to turn on our jammies. Feel free to put on your own jams if you like. But this is what I have for you. And I will see you, or well, I will check in with you shortly. Sorry. All right. Might have to do on music. I'll play what I can here. My apologies. I'm surrendering. All right, friends. Now, as you're working, and of course, feel free to pause the video at any time. This is your recording. This is your ability to just really flow as you want to flow. So if you are feeling that you need more time exploring mark making and color, that is great. Now, at this stage, I want us to kind of think about adding texture um, through adding different elements like finger painting, fabric, sponges, maybe even just a brush you never use. Brush you never use, a pencil or pen you never use, or trying to create new textures by using new textures into this process. Again, surrendering a little deeper through texture exploration. Surrender to the tactile experience of the creative process. So let us continue. And I'll check back soon. Now, friends, as you're working, remember to breathe. Just remember, I'm forgetting. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control
and surrender to the thought of love that leaves me that I release control, I release control, and surrender to the thought of love that leaves me that I release control, I release control, and surrender to the thought of love that will heal me, that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. That
Before we move forward, let's pause for a moment. Maybe you place that hand over your heart, a hand. Again, coming back to the breath, surrendering to the breath, and just being here for a moment, taking a step back, walking away if you need to. Maybe close your eyes and hold the word surrender in your mind for a moment. Notice where you may be feeling tension or holding tension as you work or as you worked right now. And just breathe. Breathe into that word of surrender. I hope you've been just kind of really getting ugly with your heart right now. Because that is where it is at. Let it be weird and beautiful and perfect in every flawed way, in every instinctual way, in every intuitive way, because that is us just surrendering to our creativity, to our instincts, to our inner knowing. Just take a pause here and look at it. How do you feel? Do you feel disgust, excitement, confusion? Both, all? Love and thoughtfulness? Because you did make this, no matter what it is, no matter how you explored and got funky with it. I started smashing 2 pieces of paper together actually because it just felt right. And I would love for you to just really bask in how good it can be to just get really raw and surrender to the process, right? Now is the time for collage elements. So cutting out materials, of course, introducing this element, patterns, textures, old magazines, old promo cards, old useless tarot books that really don't give you a lot of information that is useful, but you always get them. and allow these elements to help you find their place in the composition. You can even just take crinkled up paper that has a texture or just a blank paper to glue that down and see how that evolves, how that creates contrast, how that can just kind of open up space in a different way. This is just another way of creating and evolving and surrendering a little bit deeper with a different intention, right? We explored mark making, we explored texture. Um, let this element help guide you a little bit as well. Because nothing needs to be perfect here, right? Nothing needs to convince us of its importance. We just have to let it be. So I'm gonna turn on the music again. Again, play your own music. Pause the video for as long as you like. And then dive back into it. And I will check in with you in a little. And surrender to the of love. Life will heal me. I release control and surrender to the of love. Life will heal me. I release control and surrender to the love of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I'm gluing mine down with matte medium if it helps. you added some elements and you want to get back to drawing, do that too. Again, instinctual, follow the heart, follow instincts, go. Love you.
Numbers, rolling speed, can't fight the future, can't fight what I see. People that come together, people that fall apart. No one can stop us now, 'cause we are their stars. Efforts of lovers left in my mind. I sing in the reaches, see what we find. People that come together, it's not sound. Stop. Feel it in me, growing in numbers, growing in peace. People that come together, people that fall apart. No one can stop us now. We don't know when it starts. People that
All right, friends. Deep breaths, right? I forget it too. So that is why I remind myself really. But we can all use reminders, and that is where we are going to begin to kind of zoom out and away, back into the space, not just into the void that is where we're making art. Love the void though. It's so funny I forget to put that I put this in here. I know I put the closing slide. Take a deep breath and reflect. I want to invite you to take some time after you are finished, and of course, keep going for as long as you want. But when you are done working, to do some journaling and just write down what came up for you during this process. How can you surrender more often, right? I know that's a really hard one for most of us, myself included. I am a Capricorn after all. I do not surrender lightly. Um, but softening into opportunity that is creativity, we miss out if we don't surrender. And that's how I'm really feeling after this practice myself, and feeling that I want to do this more for myself, because surrendering is a practice. It's never just automatic, really. Um, Surrendering is hard and it is messy, but I can say just personally, and I hope you feel the same, wherever you're at, that surrendering really helped me break out of a box that I feel like I might have been in for a while, or just afraid to poke my head out of. Um, and just allowing myself to be with that, and recognizing how special that is. And so I hope for you, wherever you are, whatever is happening in your world, that this really helped you just deepen that connection. And of course, deepen your magic in your creator, like, wild self. There's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. And that's what's important about art as ritual, is there's really nothing like it, because art in all forms, whether it's music or art, visual art, or um, writing, it's all so magical when we get out of our own way and allow ourselves to co-create. Um, so I hope that gave you a lot. I hope I can, we close this out together, this, you and me. Just really feeling full, or feeling a sense of curiosity, inspiration. Um, just a reminder that you are magic. Thank you for taking the leap, for surrendering to the process, because it can be hard. It can be really uncomfy to surrender. And I'm going to have this stuff. And I want to just close out a little closer to the face. But I also wanted to just do a quick card pull to kind of solidify all of this. I pulled the 2 pentacles at the beginning, and so I want to close out with just a quick card to act as our soil where this nourishing seed has been planted tonight. What is a medicine card for you, me, and anyone watching this? 8 of Wands. Just do it. That's how I feel. This really feels perfect for that, because it is about just do it. Just make the moves. Follow the momentum. Allow it to carry you. Instinctually moving through those skies, through the air. Sometimes we land with precision. Sometimes we don't even know where we're going, but make the move. and make art. So with that said, thank you again for being here. Thank you again for taking part in this with me. And hope to see you again soon.